Copyright me for that, YouTube algorithm. No way you can.
No, I think it's okay if you sing it.
Oh, alright. Anyways, welcome to another episode. Today we're talking about The Descendants, which is a movie, and we're talking about Fallout, which is a movie but in serialized form, so a show. We're talking about Fallout, which is a show. And we're going to start out... Why are you so angry with me right now?
I zoned out.
Oh, alright. Let's talk about The Descendants first, huh?
Fine.
Okay. So, The Descendants is a movie.
That we watched.
Yeah. I'm just looking it up real quick. It's
Has George Clooney in it. It's set in Hawaii, Oahu. And it's about this man who... It's about this man, George Clooney, whose wife was in a boating accident and now she's in a coma.
Yeah.
And they have two daughters together. One of them is off at boarding school on Kauai.
Yeah.
I think it's Kauai.
Okay. No, it's the Big Island.
No.
Yes, they go to the Big Island to go get her. So the island of Hawaii, is that what you said it was called?
Oh. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you're right. And then they have another daughter who's 10.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Scotty. The older daughter's name is Alex. And pretty early on in the movie, George Clooney's character finds out that his wife had been having an affair. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to take over?
Yeah.
I figured you were doing a good job. I was just going to let you go for it.
Oh, what else is there even to say? It's just him dealing with his wife being in a coma and finding out about this affair that she was having and not being able to confront her about it.
Right. So, I think straight off the bat, this movie takes place over the course of a weekend, and they have a couple of objectives during this weekend. The first objective, let's call this one Objective A, is to notify all the friends and family that that the wife is not going to pull out of the coma, and they're going to detach her life support. And if people want to say goodbye, they should do it now. That's Objective A. Objective B is he's trying to find the guy that
his wife was having an affair with.
Yeah. David Lindhagen. And Objective B...
What's wild? She was married to George Clooney. Had an affair with Shaggy from the live-action Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Is that wild to you?
Yes! Cheating on George Clooney with Shaggy?
Okay. And then Objective C, codename Objective Charlie, is to... So, George Clooney's family comes from like an ancient...
Not ancient.
Whatever, very old Hawaiian royalty line. So they own a lot of land on Kauai in a trust, and they are about to they're going to lose the land in 7 years, so it's their time to sell it or figure out something to do with it. They've decided to sell it because they haven't done anything with it for all the generations that it's been in their family. So that's Objective C, is to figure out who they're going to be selling it to. And this all takes place over the course of a weekend, and really it's focusing on Mr. G. Clooney and his daughters and how they cope with all this stuff that's going on. Right, Micah? Mm-hmm. Well, the acting is great.
It's not that good.
Yeah, imagine Micah's attitude right now and the opposite of that. That's how the acting is. So really good.
Are you keeping all this in?
The opposite of shitty.
Are you keeping all this in?
Should I?
No!
Why not?
Because we're fighting!
Well, did you like that joke?
No!
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, so what did you like?
I thought the acting was really good.
What else?
I just like George Clooney's character a lot. I think he's a dad that needs to spend more time with his kids, but he's also not a bad dad. You know what I'm saying? He's just been very busy and lost track of what's important in life, and it took his wife's accident to refocus him. And I think that he deals with a lot of tough situations with a lot of class. Like his father-in-law, for example, hates him. And his father-in-law just doesn't have a filter at all. Doesn't have control of his emotions at all either. He assaults a kid.
That was kind of justified. He punches the kid for being disrespectful to his wife with dementia.
Yeah. But George Clooney wouldn't have done something like that, is what I'm saying. Because George Clooney gets disrespected nonstop by this guy in every scene he's in. And he walks the higher road.
Yeah. Even when the father-in-law is like, you're stingy, and you never loved my daughter, and she's a saint.
And she's nothing but a loyal wife.
And a faithful, supportive wife.
Yeah.
And George Clooney didn't say jack shit.
Yeah. He doesn't want to spoil her memory for
the
parents and for his littlest daughter. His oldest daughter was the one that told him about the affair. She figured it out. And she tells him, Mom was having an affair. And this is already after the mom has entered her coma. So George Clooney is preserving the image of this woman who he's clearly frustrated with and angry with for the sake of his daughter and her parents. So I really liked that about him. Thought that was really cool. And then, I mean, how much do we want to talk about?
I want to talk about... So the oldest daughter, Alex, tells George Clooney... What's his character's name?
King.
Matt.
Something King?
Matt.
Okay.
So Alex tells Matt, Mom was having an affair. And Matt immediately runs down the hill to his wife's friend's house.
Yeah.
And is like, what is the guy's name?
Because he knows that they know.
And immediately the couple is like, how did you find out? And what is the wife? The friend.
The wife is getting after her husband for saying anything about it. Because it's, what's his wife's name? George Clooney's wife?
I don't know. Just call her like Carol or something.
No, I'll figure it out. Hang on. Elizabeth.
Yeah, okay.
She gets mad at her husband for saying anything because it's Elizabeth's secret that she told them in confidence, and they're not supposed to tell.
And Elizabeth isn't here to defend herself, and all of the excuses of why Matt, George Clooney's character, shouldn't
know about the affair.
Know anything about it. Even though...
And that's right.
His
somehow.
wife is going to die. And he's never going to be able to have this conversation with her.
Well, they don't know that at this point. At this point, they think she's going to pull through.
It is just so disrespectful.
But it doesn't matter, because like we paused the movie, and we were like, hang on a second. If we found out that one of our friends was having an affair with someone else, and they told one of us, and we just like, we paused and had this little chat with ourselves just to, come up with our plan if this ever happens.
Well, just to make sure that the other,
we're on the same page. We both said...
Morally on this issue.
We both said, if someone were to come to one of us and admit that they were having an affair, we would tell that friend, you need to tell your husband or your wife.
Or your spouse or your partner.
Or we will.
Tomorrow, you have until tomorrow.
Yeah. Because that's not
cool.
That's not something that you get to keep secret.
No.
If you let that genie out of the bottle to anyone else that's close to you, we feel like that person has a responsibility to tell.
Yeah. And it seemed like the husband of this Elizabeth's friend's husband. He was like, I tried to stay out of it. I didn't want to be involved. I didn't want to hear about it. And I want to tell you now that you know. I want to tell you what I know. And his wife is like, don't do that. It's not your place.
Yeah.
Which, like, sure, the guy was a wimp.
Right.
Not doing anything about it, but now that he's being confronted, he wants to try and do the right thing.
But the wife, on the other hand, is actively deceptive.
Yeah.
And doesn't see a problem with that. And she sucks, basically.
Yeah.
The worst kind of friend that you could have.
No, that's not a girl's girl.
No. Anyway, how much do we want to talk about Mr. Matt King's interaction with the cucker?
No, not that much.
No? Okay. Let's just say that little thread of this movie is really engaging and really satisfying, I feel like.
And how it connects to...
Yeah.
Operation Charlie, what'd you call it?
Yeah. Objective Charlie.
Yeah.
Objective Charlie, which is, again, for those of you not keeping score, which you should be connecting little pins that have strings attached to them on a big old map on your wall, and you should be putting pins in and creating this big old map of this movie that we're talking about. But if you're not doing that, Operation Charlie is the King family selling their land in Kauai. So that's just a little refresher.
Tell them what you thought about their land when they showed it to them.
It's mid. Kauai is not that pretty.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Big facts.
I mean, like...
No cap.
Pretty overrated. I don't know. Who gives a shit?
You're so dumb.
I think that all of Objective Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, they all combine in a really... Like, they're all interwoven together in this story in a really good way. And the pacing of this movie is slow. It's very slow. You're basically just following Matt and his daughters around as they do regular old things, you know? So it's definitely, like, not a movie that kids would enjoy, but I think that it's a movie that you will enjoy if you like complicated characters and good writing, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah. And, like, moral dilemmas and
just, like, real life drama.
Yeah.
Like, stuff that would happen in real life. There's some scenes where George Clooney is, like... He's always good in whenever he's in, but there's some scenes where he's, like, really good in this movie. Like, when he's at the bedside of his wife at the very end.
Yeah, that was...
Really good. I feel like the child actors do a good job, so what's the little one's name again?
Scotty.
Scotty does good for her role. Alex does good for her role. I think you disagreed with that.
I just have decided that I don't really like her as an actress. If you've seen Secret Life of the teen pregnancy show that everyone watched when, like, we were in high school or middle school, she's the main girl that got pregnant in that show, and she's also in Divergent. I just have decided I just don't like her. I think her name is Shaylee something. I can't remember, but I don't know. She's just annoying. She, like, does that, you know, like, the bangs that everyone had in, like, the early 10s or whatever, and she's, like, constantly, like, going like this.
This is what bothers you about her?
It bugs me, yeah. I don't like it. And then
Okay.
She just seems annoying.
Well, I mean, that is her character. She's just a...
In every movie. She's
brat.
always pulling her bangs out of the way in, like, this super obnoxious way.
But her character is supposed to be annoying in this
Right.
movie. She's a brat who was, you know, neglected a little bit by her parents. But, like, it's clear that her parents love her.
Yeah.
And you know, she's got redeeming qualities. She wants to help out her dad, and she comes around to being on his side in the end. But at the beginning of the movie, she's pretty insufferable.
Yeah.
she's just, everything that she can throw in Matt's face, she's throwing in his face, like he was supposed to think of
She's just acting out.
all the ways that she was gonna feel or whatever.
Yeah.
But she does a good job for what her character is, I thought. And then there's a friend that she brings along to everything, and I always forget his name. Sid. Sid's just kind of like a simpleton, but like, and at the beginning you don't like him because of the incident we alluded to at the beginning, where the father-in-law punches him for being disrespectful. But he ends up being a good guy as well. Totally on Matt's side by the end. I like movies like this where, the family kind of comes together and they're all like a cohesive unit by the end of the movie, and that's good. It's satisfying. So, are we done talking about it? Okay. Let's rate it now.
Okay, go.
I thought this was pretty dang good. I would watch it again. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 cold cocked in the face out of 10.
I'm gonna rate this an 8 switcheroony decisions at the last minute. Is that a spoiler?
Well, it is once they start watching it.
Well, that's fun.
But yeah, I think this is really good. I don't know how I haven't seen it yet, but I have now. Anyway, let's move on. What else did we watch, Micah?
Fallout.
What's that?
Go ahead, tell the people.
It's a show that came out this year, and it's based on the video game series Fallout by Bethesda Game Studios, originally by Obsidian Game Studios. And how to describe this show? The simplest way is it's post-apocalyptic in an alternate universe where we dropped a lot of nukes and destroyed the world. And the games are set post, the big nuclear event. That's why it's called Fallout. And within this world, you've got a bunch of people that went underground and got to hide in what are called vaults. And they've been living under there as a society for decades. I guess for the sake of this show, for 2 centuries, about 2 centuries, they've been living and procreating and just hanging out in these vaults, waiting for it to be safe to go back to the surface. But the surface has gone on without them, and you got all these weird mutated freak bugs and mutated people and savage people and cannibals and all kinds of just lawlessness going on upstairs. So that's the world. Why don't you introduce us to our main characters, Micah?
Okay, this is what you got, okay? These are the characters. You got a girl with big eyes.
Uh-huh.
You got a short-ass brother.
But it's not Anya Taylor-Joy.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, her eyes are just far apart.
Right.
You got her short-ass brother. You got her old man dad.
Yep.
You've got
a black guy named Maximus who's part of the Brotherhood of Steel.
We're naming names now?
Well, yeah.
You're name dropping? I'm
naming the 3 main characters.
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize we were name dropping.
You're incorrigible. Anyway, Maximus is part of the Brotherhood of Steel. They get to wear those big metal suits. Right? And then who's the last guy?
Oh, the ghoul.
Yeah.
You got Mr. Snakeface.
Very good. Played by who?
Welding goggles. Walter Goggins.
Micah, you're going...
Oh, Walton, right?
You're going to time out after this. Yeah, played by Walton Goggins. He was the reason that we started watching this show, or the reason that I made us watch this show. Because I saw that he was going to be in it, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch that. That looks cool.
Okay, so pretty much the start of the show, Lucy's, it's a large-eyes girl. Her old man dad gets kidnapped from the vault by raiders, which are just people from the surface that broke into their vault.
They're searching for the Lost Ark.
And she is greatly upset by this.
Right.
And decides to go to the surface and find her dad.
Incensed, really, is what she is. She's incensed, Micah.
And then she ends up on a mission to deliver and to deliver a man.
Yeah.
And to try and trade for her dad.
Right.
And along the way, she meets up with Maximus,
who's also looking for the man.
Who is a knight. Yeah, everybody's looking for this guy.
There's a reason why everybody wants to bring him in to their own home base.
And this show is very violent.
Mm-hmm.
Very violent.
Yeah. Gory, even.
Yeah.
You would say.
But I didn't love it. It's too violent for me. Mm-hmm. Lots of not looking and hiding the screen from my eyes. So, not looking again. And closing my eyes so I couldn't watch. So, just lots of violence and gore.
But you make it sound like it's non-stop.
It is.
It's not non-stop.
It was continuous, I would say.
There's some in every episode, but...
Right, the whole episode.
My word.
It's just one big blink for me. With my eyes closed. So again, not looking.
You didn't even like the ghoul, huh?
No, I did.
Okay.
But I guess we forgot about the main character of this whole show. There's a dog.
Okay, yeah.
The dog survives, don't worry.
Yeah, there's a dog. Definitely not the main character.
Don't be disrespectful.
Anyways.
To my boy 4.
The ghoul is really cool. He's just like he was a Hollywood actor. So in this universe, ghouls can live for a really long time. They've basically adapted to the radiation. So they've somehow their bodies have figured out a way to survive in this wasteland. So they live for a really long time. And the ghoul is a bounty hunter, and he wears a cowboy hat, and he, has this cool tattered up trench coat and like all the cool western-y kind of guns. But he was a Hollywood actor before the event happened, and you get a lot of flashbacks of his life and the events that lead up to the bombs dropping. And these are the clues that sort of start to fill in the mystery of what's going on in this show, why everybody wants this body, who some of these characters are, who they were before the bombs dropped. There's a big old twisty twist that happens at the end. Did you like the twisty twist?
Yeah. So I pretty much did not like this show. I didn't enjoy it. We only watched like half an episode at a time because I was so not into it. Until the last episode. And then the last episode happened, and I think I like this show. It's fine. It's alright.
You didn't even like all Mr. Short Brothers investigations?
That was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that.
The other thing that I did like was Little Miss Big Eyes,
Mm-hmm.
Lucy, does a very good job of playing an innocent-minded person.
Yeah.
Because she's very sheltered her whole life and has a very strong moral compass at the beginning, right? Of right and wrong and black and white and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And she does a really good job. That's all.
I liked Maximus too.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to like Lucy or Maximus, and I was just going to be waiting for the ghoul to come back on screen the whole time. But I liked both of them. I thought they were both compelling in different ways. And then also Lucy's brother, the short brother who she leaves back in the vault.
Who you might know from Hannah Montana, the show.
Or Ender's Game, if you watched that movie. That's how I recognized him. But he's trying to figure out... So all the vaults seem to have some sort of a secret going on. And he's trying to figure out what his vault's secret is. And it's interesting. Although, you know what? Now that I think about it, we'll save this for the spoiler part, I guess. Never mind. I won't talk about it here. It is really violent. It's also got some funny moments in it, I feel like. For example, there is the guy that everybody's trying to capture. He escapes from a facility near the beginning of the show. And when he gets outside, there's this giant machine gun that pops up out of the ground. And there's a screen on the machine gun and it says, "Please remain calm." Or like, "Don't panic" or something. And it starts to like spin because it's about to shoot him. I love that little moment. There's a lot of little moments like that where it's just like, what do you mean, "Please remain calm"? You're about to shoot me full of holes. There's lots of little bits of humor like that.
Yeah, there's also this other part where Lucy gets captured by this robot. Right?
Yeah.
And she's super worried that they're going to use her as a... are you allowed to say that?
Intimacy slave?
Yeah. Yeah, an intimacy slave. And she's telling this robot, she's like, "Oh, so I'm not going to be an intimacy slave?" And the robot's like, "No, that's disgusting. We're just going to harvest your organs." And she's like, "What?"
He's just a very friendly sounding robot. And he's like, "It won't hurt a bit. Hold still. We're just going to harvest your organs." Just like, yeah, stuff like that. That's the kind of humor it is. It's dark humor, gallows humor, but it's funny. And if you don't mind watching the violence, there's some like funny violence moments as well. Although Micah wouldn't have liked them very much because she doesn't like violence. She's a pacifist. Good for her.
That's true.
Just like Smokey.
The bear?
Conscientious objector.
Oh.
Right, Micah?
Nice.
Let's rate it real quick. Mm-hmm. So, okay, this is what I'll say. So this is a video game adaptation. As far as video game adaptations go, this is one of the best. Really one of the best. The only one that I've liked more than this is Castlevania. So, as far as a video game adaptation goes, I mean, this is pretty much the gold standard that's out there. But if I'm rating it on its own merits as a show, I think I'll give it an 8. I think that it sometimes, like near the beginning, the way that they introduce some of the characters is not very compelling to me. Like the ghoul especially, he just came out speaking in cliches, and I didn't love that. He got more natural as the show went on and you got to know who he was, but I didn't really love the way they introduced his character. And there's just moments like that where it just feels a little bit forced, but there's not very many of those moments, and overall I think it's quite quality. So that's why I'm giving it an 8.
An 8 what?
8 Voldemort noses out of 10.
Nice. I am going to rate this. And before I rate it, it's a very quality made show. I mean, the cinematography is good, the acting is good, the script is good for the most part.
The sets are
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
And the costume, like it looks like the game come to life in a really good way.
So I can appreciate all of that, and I did like the last episode. But like I said, this is not my favorite show. This is not the type of show I would normally like because of how violent it is. So I'm going to rate this a 7. A 7...
Goosey.
Goosey. Yeah, a 7 Goosey out of 10.
Nice. Do you have anything to talk about separate?
I thought you were gonna share spoilers. That's okay. It must not have been important. Okay.
No, it was good.
Oh.
Right. Okay. Thinking back on this, so Goosey and her brother come from Vault 33.
Lucy.
Right. And in the beginning, they have a breeding program or whatever with Vault 32. And they sometimes like have marriages between Vault 32 and Vault 33. And this is how the Raiders get in. The Raiders are able to invade Vault 32. Why are all the Vault inhabitants dead in 32? They never really explained that.
They don't. And they've been dead for a really long time.
Is it because they figured out what's in Vault 31?
They never go over that.
Because that's what puts Mr. Shortman onto the hunt of Vault 31.
Yeah.
Is they go into Vault 32 and they see all the dead bodies and they've been dead for a very long time. And, but like, if that's the case, I don't understand why Vault 32 went bananas and killed each other. Because like, the secret of Vault 31 is kind of sinister, but it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion.
It's just a management program.
Yeah, it's like I'm sure they're gonna you know, peel back the layers in the next season, and maybe we'll get more answers to why Vault 32 just went insane. But as of right now, it doesn't really make sense why they would just be killing each other because of the management program.
No, and like what's his name?
Who?
The brother?
Mr. Shortman.
Okay. When he goes in there, there's like writing on the wall, and it's like,
We know or whatever.
we know your secret. You can't. What?
Oh.
Oh, about the cryo chambers, I guess.
Well, it's not just about that. Remember, they find out that Vault Tech is the one that dropped the bomb.
They don't know that.
Maybe that's what they found out.
Or that they're doing experiments on all of the vaults, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. I guess there's a lot of questions that this show leaves us with, but since there's going to be more seasons, then, you know, maybe they'll be answered. For example, I don't understand how Moldaver ended up staying so young.
Well, and why Lucy's mom was kept alive.
Right, I didn't understand that either. For what purpose? Moldaver didn't even seem that mad when Lucy's mom got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why didn't Moldaver become a ghoul as well? I don't get that. Yeah. But hopefully these questions will be answered, and this won't need to become like a unanswered question that's a big deal later on in the future.
Yeah. Also, I definitely felt like Maximus should have died in the last episode with how hard he hit his head.
He's tough, Micah.
He hit it right on his temple, it looked like. That should have killed him.
He's a tough tucky.
Yeah, okay. Well, do you have anything? Nothing?
No.
Okay. Well, I watched the movie King Arthur with Mark Wahlberg.
The dog one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was not that good. So...
When has a dog movie ever been good?
Marley and Me?
Haven't seen it.
Super sad. What's the dog movie and the cat?
Milo Notice?
No, the dogs and the cat. Where they go and find their family.
The dogs and the cat.
Yeah, look it up. Where they try and find their family?
Dogs and cat try to find Homeward Bound?
Yeah, that one. That one's really good.
Is it?
Yeah. So pretty much this movie is about Mark Wahlberg doing ultra racing, maybe is what it's called. It's kind of like a extreme version of a triathlon, except instead of swimming, it's kayaking. And he is preparing for this race in Costa Rica or the Dominican Republic. I can't remember exactly. During the race, his team finds a dog that has been there like since the start of the race, and they don't understand because it's been hundreds of miles. And they end up adopting the dog, and I don't understand really the compulsion to bring along this dog with them. I didn't feel like the motivation was really there for them to keep the dog. That's pretty much all the movie is. The ending was a bit ridiculous and extreme also, and I don't know. That's pretty much it. I think I would rate it like a 5. A 5 ziplining with your bike out of 10. That's pretty much it.
What do we have coming up?
I don't know. Maybe Shorzy?
Shorzy. Oh, I've got Shogun. Last episode. I'm on the last episode. I'll finish it this time, I swear.
Liar!
I'll do it.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Well, have a good week, everyone. Bye!